Hey, I'm Black Dragon, and I'd like to thank you for tuning in to Black Dragon Biker TV here on the Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos. And as always, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be. I'm not in my recording studio right now. I'm actually out walking with my dog, trying to get our 10,000 steps in. My knees are real bad, but I'm working hard to get skinny and, get off of my self-inflicted drug cocktail and get back to the right weight, the right mindset, and feeling good. I'm so blessed to have seen 58 years on Easter Sunday. What a blessing. And I'm just really glad to be here and then just incredibly thankful. So I thought I would do this podcast. I want to do a lot of podcasts like this, especially when I'm walking. In fact, that's how, if any of you guys follow me on Black Dragon Biker TV on YouTube, and you go back to July 2015, when I started this whole social media influencer journey, I started with just a cell phone like I have right now. I started with a cell phone and a selfie stick, walking through the forest like I'm walking now. And I would just talk, and the message resonated. And I've been away from that, so I wanted to kind of get back to that. And I wanted to do a podcast tonight. And I haven't done one of these in a while. I want to get kind of back to my roots. And I started podcasting and this kind of thing because I wanted to help club folks. I wanted to help folks in clubs live that great club life. So I started with Prospects and my Prospects Bible, which has been a #1 bestseller and required reading for over 1,000 motorcycle clubs nationwide. And I'm very proud of that. So I'm going to dedicate this this podcast to, and I don't know if I've ever done one like this, but I'm going to try to do, and I'm just talking off the top of my head, no notes prepared, so we'll see if I'm still good at that. I want to do the top 10 things a prospect can do to shorten his prospecting time and really get value from his prospecting time. I've known a lot of prospects to spend, the shortest amount of time I've ever heard was like 90 days. And the longest amount of time could be several years. And I've known prospects to spend 90 days or several years prospecting and absolutely get nothing out of it. That at the end of the day, when all is said and done, they actually don't know things that you would think anybody that had spent any time prospecting would know about their club. And that hurts you when you become a member. A lot of prospects, they just want to get it over with. Man, I can't wait to get my colors. A lot of probates prospects, I can't wait to get my colors. Can't wait to get my full patch. Whatever this son of a bitch says I got to do, I'm going to do. They're talking about their sponsor, of course. And I'm just going to do what I got to do, man. If I got to do push-ups, if I got to wash bikes, if I got to clean the clubhouse, if I have to take the properties out and walk them to the car. And all they're there to do is survive the prospect period or the probationary period. And they miss the joy of prospecting. And you guys are like, what the hell kind of joy could there be in prospecting? But there is a joy in prospecting. A joy in prospecting that you miss when you become a full patch member. And there's a joy in being a full patch member that you miss when you become an officer. And there's a joy in being an officer that you miss when you become a regional or a state boss. And there's a joy that you miss in being a state boss when you become a national. Because each one of those things adds another level of complexity, headache, politics, and takes you further and further and further away from the joy of riding a motorcycle and being a unencumbered member of a motorcycle club, which is the greatest joy on earth. So I want to break this down, and I'm going off the top of my head, so it's not in order. I hope I can do 10. So let me try to knock 10 things off. Number 1, be on time for everything you are expected to do. And on time, as they used to say in the Navy, on time is late. If you're not there 30 minutes before, you're late. Set the motorcycle club up to have great expectations in your success. Set them up by delivering goods early. Promise early, deliver early. Let the club brothers, sisters, properties, hang-arounds, prospects, probates, friends of the club, allies of the club, let the entire motorcycle club nation, the entire extended family, know how serious you are about your prospecting period. Arrive on time. Arriving on time shows that you have respect for everybody's time. Arriving on time shows that most of all, you have respect for your time, and you have respect for your word, and you have respect for keeping your word. And it's important to you that you value the commitment you've made by being on time. So this important concept, and the concept of being there 30 minutes early, 15 minutes early, so you're there before everyone, and people will say about you what we used to say about a person who would come to our submarine and try everything they could try to get their qualification time done. And on submarines, we have prospects too. They're called nubs or non-quals. Well, that's what they were called in my day. I understand in the Navy, you're not allowed to call anybody a nub or a non-qual these days. But in my days, you were called a non-qual puke. You were lower than well shit. Well, defecation, we probably have to say today. And you were not allowed recreation. You were not allowed movies. You were not allowed to coke and joke and bullshit on the mess decks. If you were not qualified submarines, you were to have a book in your hand if you were not standing watch or doing maintenance, painting or cleaning. Those were the things you were doing. And if you weren't doing those things, you were somewhere in a corner with a book in your head, with your head deep into that book. Even if there was a movie playing on the mess decks, your ass better not be sitting on the mess decks watching that movie. You better have a book in your hand and a notepad. A book in one hand and a notepad with a pen in the other. And why was that? Because every person on a submarine, until such time as they are qualified submarines, every person is a liability. Every person can get us all killed at any second, because you don't know things like what breaker you go to turn off in case there's a fire over here. There's a breaker over there that must be turned off. Or if there's flooding from sea, there's a certain procedure that must be done. There's certain emergency calls that must be given out. And every second you spend on that submarine not knowing that vital information, you are a risk to us all. Because if we run into flooding at a particular depth, if we have not solved that flooding casualty in 30 seconds, the entire submarine is lost. So if you run into that casualty and you've got to turn and run and go get somebody, instead of having the qualifications, the know-how, the skill, and the knowledge to fix that problem right there, right now, that 15 seconds that you took to go find someone could be the beginning of the end for all those people in the submarine. So no, do not bring your punk ass in here sitting down crying about mommy. No, no, no. We're men here, and our lives depend on you. Do not suck up our oxygen. Do not drink our water. Do not eat our food, and you don't qualify to be able to run this submarine and at least perform a life-saving maneuver in every watch station on every system involved on this submarine. And we have pneumatics, we have high pressure air, high pressure hydraulic oil, electronics, oxygen purifiers, oxygen makers. We got all kind of stuff. A nuclear reactor, nuclear weapons. We ain't playing games here. And so to me, a prospect is like a nub, non-qual on a submarine. For every minute you spend not knowing MC protocol, not knowing the procedures that it takes for two clubs to get along, or not knowing the bylaws, every second you spend doing that, you are a liability to the motorcycle club nation. You're a liability when you don't know how to greet other motorcycle clubs, when you don't know how to deal with one percenters. Your faux pas, your screw up, can be something that causes our entire nation grief. So get your ass qualified and get those colors on your back as soon as humanly possible. So, start by always being on time. 2, when you get an opportunity to work for a brother, take that opportunity to get to know that brother. Knowing a brother is important, because when you're out on the road with him, not knowing him can get him killed. This is what I mean. We recently had a brother run over by a car as he was lying on the ground in very bad shape. While he was lying on the ground in very bad shape, the paramedics wanted to know his name. Well, his name is not Iron Fists. His name is not Two Wheels. His name is not Running Wolf or Burning Cloud or Hard Ass or Hardtack or any of these names that we write. His name is a name first and last with a middle initial. He has an age. He has a wife. He has a family. He has an emergency contact number. And if you don't know anything about that brother, and the only thing you can say is, well, that's hard ass, you put his life in jeopardy. If you don't know that he has high blood pressure, if you don't know that he's got diabetes, if you don't know that he's had a heart stent surgery, you don't know that brother, how do you call him your brother? The prospect period is for you to get to know your brothers, sisters, the people, the men and the women, properties, hang-arounds, associates of your extended motorcycle club family, the people that you are in contact with every day. So if you've gone through a prospecting period and you don't know every member in your chapter, you are a non-qual, nub, delinquent. We call those dinks, short for delinquent, in the submarine Navy. You're a effing dink with a full patch, you ain't no good. You're as worthless as titties on a bull or a bull hog. That's what you are. So, number 2, spend your prospecting time getting to know intimately your brother. So, you get to go work for a brother. Hey, go pick up such and such brother. He's broken down on the highway. This is your most perfect, excellent time to, instead of saying, oh shit, I just got to go get the trailer and get this guy and get him home. Start a conversation. Some guys have issues, man. They don't get along with nobody well. They got issues. That's their issues. You still take your time to get to know them in as much as you can, in as much as you are allowed, so that you can know the people in your motorcycle club. 3, when riding with brothers, take the time and the opportunity to learn how to ride in the pack and learn how to ride in the pack well. Riding in the pack is an honor. To me, MC means move the crowd. If you are afraid to ride 2x2, suicide style, as we call it in the Mighty Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation, parade style, as you might hear Chips and Highway Patrol bikers call it, two abreast, as you might hear military riders call it. If you are afraid to ride suicide style in formation, nut to butt, then you got a problem. The club doesn't have a problem. You can't handle your motorcycle. You're a coward, you're afraid, you're terrified. But you can get past that. You can learn how to ride in the pack like everybody else did. You meet your fears by facing them head on and developing talent and skill where you had fear and lack of confidence before. You develop your talent and skill by practicing. It's really that simple. So get with the road captain and practice. Get with brothers and practice. And practice and practice and practice until you have no more fear, until you have no more trepidation. If you got a problem falling into corners when the brothers are on a ride and you fall out of formation and jeopardize everybody's life because you can't hold the road, fix that. And don't let no one have to fix it for you. Don't let no one have to tell you that this needs to be fixed. Recognize it and get it fixed. Number 4, get to know the history of your club, man. It's sad. I see all these guys that want to run for regional president or regional sergeant at arms and president and vice president and secretary. And somebody that's not even in your club walks up to you and reads you the history of your club. Don't you feel like a damn fool? Who was freight train? I don't know. You're a dumbass. I had a guy one time, probate of a club. I called him probate. He got all mad. You don't call me probate. You don't blah, 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 blah. You call me by my name. I asked him, what year was your mother chapter started and what street was it on? And he looked at me with a blank stare. I said, bro, I spent more time sleeping on the floor of your mother chapter as a probate, as a prospect, and you don't even damn know the name of the street your mother chapter's from. Don't you ever talk crazy to me, boy. Don't do that. Know what you're talking about when you want to get in somebody's face. Because only then are you a product of the men who brought you into the chapter. So make them take the time to teach you the history of the chapter from beginning to end. Exhaust those people until you know what the chapter can do. Number 6. I got to think. I was good on the first 5, I think. Or is that 4? I think we're on number 5 or number 6, man. I've already lost count. Learn how to keep your motorcycle in tip-top maintenance and shape. Having a raggedy-ass motorcycle with cheap tires on it puts everybody's life in jeopardy. Everybody. You got a chain on your motorcycle that ain't right. And I'll tell you my own time. I was a little bit broke in the early 90s. I had gotten out of the Navy. I think this was about 95, 96. I had gotten out of the Navy and I didn't have a job for a while. And I was just a little broke. And I had a Gixxer 1100. And I needed to put a chain on it. My chain had gotten to its last hurrah. And the chain was like $350. And this guy had a chain that was like $75. And he told me, this chain is not made for your motorcycle. It cannot take the torque. The purpose of this chain is to get you home. And then when you get enough money, then you buy another chain. I really shouldn't be putting this on your bike, but you can't afford a chain and you don't have one. This will get you home. Do not twist that throttle, bro, or this chain will snap off. Well, I must have taken that bike home and forgotten about that chain. And I was just riding it like I always do. So then I got in the pack. And when I got in the pack, we was rolling. And I twisted that throttle, that chain snapped. That back tire locked. And I damn near took out the entire pack at 80 miles an hour on the highway. This is what I did as a dumbass prospect. I tell you guys, don't do that. Don't be that stupid. Keep your motorcycles in tip-top shape. If you can't afford to put a tire on it, let the brothers know. And don't ride. It's a good possibility the brothers will help you. They'll give you a club loan and get your bike up to riding speed. Safety first. Any chances you take in the pack could kill the pack. So always keep that in mind. I will say for the next one, when you have an opportunity to wash a brother's bike, clean a brother's bike, move a brother's bike, or transport a brother's bike, you look at that bike from head to toe. You will come to learn that brother. You will know if he's a slob. You'll know if he takes good care of his motorcycle, or you'll know if you don't need to be riding next to him in the pack. Take note of how he takes care of his machine. You could tell in the cowboy days, I'm from Oklahoma, and you can tell in the cowboy days, you could tell a good cowhand by how he took care of his steed. The term ride hard, put away wet was a cowboy who would ride his horse all day and get off that horse and throw him in the stall soaking wet. That's going to be a sickly horse with diseases and maladies. That's going to be a horse that's going to give out on you on the trail. A real cowboy doesn't eat, doesn't sleep, doesn't rest until he gets off his steed and he puts him up. He brushes him down, makes sure he's dry, he's comfortable, He's got his oats. He's got his water. I make my living with this pony. I'll make sure this pony is well taken care of. He makes sure that there's a guard out to guard the ponies on the cattle run from anybody that wants to steal or harm them, or any wolves that want to come and eat them. That iron horse is your pony. If you got a club brother that don't take care of that iron, you got a guy that'll kill the pack. So you get to learn your club brothers. You look over his iron and you let him know, with all due respect, bro, you do know your back tire ain't qualified to roll in the pack. They might not like you, prospect, but they'll respect the hell out of you because you're looking out for their best interest and you're looking out for the interest of the pack. And that's your job. Don't take up any sides in club politics. That's number 8. Club politics are dangerous. And you as a prospect, you have to get everybody's vote. So, when you see that kind of stuff going on, when one brother wants to take you aside as a prospect and talk negatively about another brother, clear yourself from that conversation as quickly as possible. You don't want to get on any sides in politics. You don't have a vote anyway. You ain't got no vote and you ain't got no opinion. What do you think of this, prospect? I think I'm a prospect and I don't have an opinion. I think I'm a prospect and I need everyone's vote. I think I'm a prospect and I don't get to enjoy the club yet. I'm still working to convince every brother in here that's a full patch and good standing, that has any vote on my side, that I am worthy. I'm worthy of their vote. I'm worthy of their trust. I'm worthy of their confidence. I think I haven't been in the club as long as you have in order to see people that I despise enough to talk negatively about. I think that at this point, if I had something negative to say about a brother, I would just pick up the phone and call him, or ensure that I was in a conversation with him where he could talk to me and I could talk back. But I wouldn't do that either, because prospects are to be seen and not to be heard. And so I'm here to work for the club and earn my keep and demonstrate that I have no ponies in this fight. I'm here for the MC. As a prospect, I am MC. You are MC. Allow no personalities to trigger you. Allow nobody to coax you or goad you or bring you into a fight. Save all that for later. You are a prospect, and until such time as you are no longer a prospect, you are MC. You got that? Number 9, learn the duties of guarding the president. In most clubs, a president never travels alone. He should have at least a sergeant at arms with him, or at least a prospect. As a prospect, it is your duty to protect the president. When he moves, you move with him. If the president goes down, you go down. So, if the president goes down, so too does the MC Nation, the chapter, the club, you name it. So it is your job to ensure that that president remains safe, even if it's a stupid president who feels like, I don't need any protection, blah, blah, blah. Sir, on this, you don't get a choice, because you represent us all. And if you go down, the reputation of we all goes down. So, learn to protect the president or any other of the dignitaries that you are with when you are a prospect. Don't let the sergeant at arms have to tell you that the president's walking out to his car at a party. Be on his ass. Be the first one to the door to open it for him. Be the first one to make sure that he gets to his car or his bike. When he's talking and he sits his drink down, you pick it up and put a napkin over it. And you hold his drink until he's ready to take another sip out of it. You give him protection. And then if you are assigned to protect the women or walk the women out to their cars or any of that other stuff, you do that as well to the best of your ability. This is not playtime. It's not joke time. It's not trying to see if you can get a piece of ass time. You're a prospect. You're about the seriousness and the business of the club. And I hope this is number 10. Number 10 is learn early to stop saying mine, 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 my, me, I. Learn to give of the club as though you were some kind of priest or preacher or shaman or sheikh or imam or rabbi, that you're just giving out of your heart. My mom once told me, if you give for people to be thankful, you're going to be sorely disappointed, son, because people are never thankful. People don't know how to be grateful. So you give out of your heart. So if you don't get the giving back, you gave because it was the right thing to do, and you can feel great about it. The Motorcycle Club is not about mine. It's not about me. It's not about my. It's not about I. The Motorcycle Club is about we. We MC. We see. Not me see. We see. Learn how to say we, ours, together. Learn how to think and give in the mind of the collective. The Motorcycle Club is not for stingy people. If you don't have loyalty, if you don't know how to give, if you've been too injured in your life to love freely, without expectation of repayment, if you're so hurt, if you're so traumatized from your childhood, if you've got so much post-traumatic stress disorder that you can't be a human being, then you are not for us. And we are not for you. The MC is a collective like a beehive. All things work so that all things can eat. And the queen, the president, is our leader, our spiritual leader, our emotional leader, our technical leader, our technical expert, our figurehead, the father of the club. Work to uplift him. Work to support him and your other brothers, sisters, properties, social clubs, support clubs, the greater family of the MC. That greater family is your family. Those greater folks are your folks. They make you great. If they are great, you are great. So learn early that the MC is about we. The MC is not the me see. It's not the my see. It's not the mine see. It's not the I see. It's the we see. It's the we MC. We means a lot of things. We means us together. We means yes in French. Yes, we can. Yes, we are one. Yes, if you try to come against us, We will destroy you. Whether you are an enemy from foreign or domestic soil, from within or from without or from within, if you are an enemy to the MC, then you are an enemy of mine. Don't be that enemy. Be an empowerer from the day you begin prospecting. And you will have learned the 10 best tips for being an outstanding and excellent prospect. And perhaps you could have your picture put on the walls of prospectory, which would be the walls of the greatest prospects that ever lived. So anyway, I wanted to give you guys that. And I want to do some more videos like this. 26 minutes while I was walking. I think that's cool. Oh, 36 minutes. Wow. Maybe I'll try to make them shorter. Anyway, I hope you guys found something in this that you could share with others. Please like and share this video and this channel, The Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos, my podcast that you can get any place that you get podcasts. For instance, Spotify or iTunes or iHeartRadio. I host this platform on Spreaker, and it's a great platform for me. And you can, absolutely get this podcast on Spreaker or any other place. Please share this podcast with prospects that you know that might need it. And be sure to catch Black Dragon Biker TV over on YouTube and Black Dragon Biker TV on Instagram. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers if you'd go over there and check us out. And we have Black Dragon Biker TV on Facebook. Actually, it's just Black Dragon Biker on Facebook. We have the Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos, this podcast, and our online news magazine, which is called BikerLiberty.com. Go over to BikerLiberty.com and get your daily news. And we have a daily news broadcast at 7-ish Eastern Time. I say 7-ish. Sometimes we don't get there till about 8. So we say 7-ish. Monday through Friday, where we talk about biker news, Black Dragon Biker News Network, biker news you can trust. And last but not least, be sure to go and join our Discord server. On our Discord server is just so many cool rooms of things to do and fun to have. We would love to see you there on our Discord server, and links to get to the Discord server are in the description on this podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's my 2 cents. Thanks for tuning in, and get skinny.